Pirate Software's game is worse than you could imagine by Lord Frogmire. All right, let's see it. I feel like I might have a different take on this because, again, I'm a game designer.
Streamer who promoted the idea that anyone can make a game. With the help of a definitely not fake, sultry, deep voice, he became the biggest indie game developer creator on all of Twitch and YouTube. However, all of that came crashing down once people figured out that his entire persona was a lie. He claimed to have been working in the gaming industry for over 20 years.
How long have I been working in the gaming industry? Disgaea 2 release date. Forget it. Forget it.
Reality is, his daddy...
Forget it.
He got him a job in QA at Blizzard, and from there he went on to send phishing emails, basically asking people politely for the passwords. Obviously, that calls into question his supposed expertise, but he is always primarily focused on indie games, and he has made an indie game, so who cares if all of his experience at Blizzard is fake?
This is like Earthbound. Wait, this is called Oh, I see. It's a Earthbound inspired game.
We should be asking is his indie game any good? I mean, the answer is obviously no, but how bad really is it? It's worse than you could possibly imagine. What made me look into the game in the first place was being shown the code from the game. And I say with no exaggeration, it is the worst I have ever seen. It is baffling in the sense that...
Okay, guys, chat, I'm gonna be real here real quick. Oh my god, dude. The code being bad doesn't matter. To be honest. Like, for, like, the actual game to be good, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about the code. Okay, hold on. Did he say something about how his code is so good? Did he say that? Is that why people are mad? Wait for more context. Okay.
I genuinely believe it was made bad on purpose. But I'll leave the code review till the end of the video. But just keep that in mind while I'm describing the game. That the underlying code is a jumbled mess of incoherent nonsense. So without further ado, subscribe to Lord Frogmire.
Can I tell you guys something that's completely unrelated? Well, kind of unrelated. I'm kind of sick and tired of, like, these, like, games about inner struggle. Like, honestly, like, I just want to kill some fucking monsters and shit, you know? I'm just tired of this. I'm like, my life is so hard. My life is so hard, and everybody looks down on me. But one day I'm gonna show them, when in my heart I realize that I'm actually important to the world, and I'm a strong person. No, you're not. You're the worst. You're the worst. You suck. I don't suck.
And let's look at this absolute piece of shit. So let's start with going over the gameplay.
I'm actually tired of it.
And we're going to
like, am I the only one that's tired of it? Like, I'm just tired of it, you know? Like, can I just like, you know, like, yeah, like freaking Helldiver. I love Helldivers. You just freaking go down and you just, like, shoot some enemies. You know, it's amazing. You save the day, you know, you go down there and, like, you know, manage democracy. Like, it's great. I love it. You blame Steven Universe. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong.
be able to go over literally every single piece of gameplay that is not walking or talking, because there is genuinely that little within a single route of the game. Because that's all I played, you could not pay me $10,000 to play any more of this game. There are exactly 3 puzzles.
You want to know, and also, like, another thing, like, this might be another hot take. I'm not really a fan of, like, okay, so I don't like, I feel like the old, like, standard JRPG combat is kind of outdated, like, to be honest. It's, like, on one side of it, right? But on the other side, like, I feel like this, like, kind of super crazy complicated, like, combat sequences, I don't think are fun either. You want to know what game I think is, like, a RPG that has a really good balance between the two? That Expedition game. Like, it looks like it has just the right amount of, like, interaction. Like, it's interaction, but it's, like, still JRPG. And it's, like, not in your face about some weird shit that you have to do. Like, it's just fucking combat, you know?
sections,
Yeah,
5
like Paper
total
Mario, yeah.
puzzles, and this is being very generous with what
I still need to play it though. I played Paper Mario though.
I consider a puzzle, by the way. A single combat section, 1 battle.
FRPG for the win. Yeah, but like it's just like people call it JRPG just because like the genre. It doesn't mean it's from Japan.
Well, yes, 1 that is repeated, so that's 2 total battles, but only 1 unique fight, and
See, because I feel like this thing, and like while it's like kind of cool, I think like making every fight like this and like having it be meaningful, it just seems like a lot. You know, like it seems like a lot of work. A lot of work for like just, and I don't know, maybe that's the point. Maybe these like kind of few and far between battles is the point. Like maybe like I don't know.
That section, 1 battle, yes, 1 that is repeated, so that's 2 total battles, but only 1 unique fight, and 2 mini games. That's it. If you want to be extremely generous, there is 1 more.
See, like I don't think like a JRPG needs this kind of stuff, right? And I feel like I don't know. It just seems like, okay, you know, like when you want to release a game, you want to release a game like, you want to think about like what's the minimum viable for the game to like exist, right? And it's nice to have like kind of all these like unique things, but I feel like the more of these things you add, the more you waste time. Like you just waste time, on like making like all of these like unique mechanics that people are only going to play one time. It just seems like a waste of resources to me. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm retarded. I don't know. It just seems like a waste of resources.
Mini game, puzzle, literally all you do is click on
It's just a story, so it is kind of like that, basically.
a couple objects. Yes, that's literally it, but technically that's better than just walking and talking. This was a Kickstarter game, by the way.
Maybe that's why it's taken him like 10 years. I mean, yeah, I mean, it would take like that long, yeah.
Kickstarter game that advertised its combat, which its only unique combat encounter was advertised in the Kickstarter campaign that was funded in 2017 and raised $20,000.
See, this is the problem, right? If you have so much expectations for each part of the game being like super unique, then it's only used once or twice, right? Then naturally it's going to take you like forever. Like it just seems like overzealous, you know?
So in 8 years, he could not make a single combat encounter that he advertised as a primary part of the game with $20,000, let alone all of the sales the game got once it was released in early access. So while I'm going over the very limited gameplay that actually exists in the game, remember that this was a Kickstarter scam that was advertised as a real RPG with real gameplay. Okay, so our first section of gameplay is a log pushing puzzle. Yes, this is how generous I was being when I said there were 5 puzzles in the game. I don't think there's really anything to discuss here, because if there wasn't so few—
So like, what is the game? Like, what is the point? Like, what is the genre of the game? Like, what's the target audience? I'm confused. You know, Ragnarok, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I just don't get it. Like, why? What is the point of this log puzzle? Like, is this a puzzle game? Like,
gameplay sections to begin with, no one would ever mention this. Okay, now we have the first and only unique combat encounter that was shown in the Kickstarter trailer. It is a WarioWare minigame compilation and is perfectly serviceable for a tutorial encounter. Not all of the combat in the entire game. All it is 4 very simple micro games where if you succeed, the enemy takes damage, and if you fail, you take damage.
Yo, you guys think I could grok this in like a day? Like, just as a joke, like as like a thought experiment. Do you think I could?
That's it. Perfectly serviceable, but very simple, very basic.
I have to ask my friend, because I don't really have an expertise in this. I feel like you can.
Encounter is about 1 minute long. And remember, that is one of 2 encounters that are in the game. From here, we now have 3 puzzles in a row. Only 1 more puzzle exists in the game after this. And if I wasn't being so generous,
Okay.
I wouldn't call them puzzles at all. And I don't mean that they're easy. Do you remember those little things that babies use where it's a circle hole and a circle block and a
The square hole.
triangle hole and a triangle block? That's what I would call an easy puzzle. What
The square hole.
makes it a puzzle is you still have options. You could fuck up and try and put the triangle block in
square
the
hole.
circle hole. That's not what these puzzles are. These,
Square
you
hole.
have a square hole and a square block and literally nothing else.
This is like the funny thing is like you might not feel something like watching this video. You might think it's really funny, but for like game developers, like game designers specifically, this is infuriating. This is infuriating as like a game designer, because this is actually the experience of being a game designer, is like watching this basically, because this is exactly what players do. Is like this is what I meant earlier about like how you have to account for like everything. It's because players will literally do this. They will literally put everything in the square hole.
You cannot fail these. There is only one option. If you try the only possible thing, you will complete the puzzle. Look at this first puzzle. You can only push these blocks and nothing else. You can only push those blocks in one direction, nowhere else, and that's all you have to do. Push those 2 blocks in the only places they can
real?
possibly go, and you have now completed the puzzle. And you might say, maybe that's just to teach you the mechanics, but it doesn't get better from there. Puzzle number 2.
Okay.
All you can interact with are the switches. There is nothing else you can do. All you have to do is keep activating switches until you win. You could close your eyes. You do not have to think. There is no fail state. You just hit the switches until you succeed. Hit every switch to complete the puzzle. That's what I'm talking about when I say it's square peg and square hole. All you have to do is try and you succeed. As long as you are engaging with the game at all, you're moving forward. There is no thought necessary at all. That's why
Okay.
I don't consider it a puzzle. There
I
is
see.
no triangle block for you to put in the square hole. And puzzle number 3 is literally the exact same thing as puzzle number 1. All you have to do is push the only blocks that you could possibly push in the only direction they will possibly go, then you flip the switches and you've succeeded. Literally no thought whatsoever. It's not a puzzle, but I'm being generous, so we'll give it to them. There are now 4 puzzles in the game, and you
Wait,
see
what?
the quality. 1 combat encounter, 4 puzzles. We're almost
Wait,
done
that's
with
it?
all of the gameplay, by the way. Gameplay that was in
It just seems like a waste of time. Like, I don't know.
the game in 2017. After this, you get the final
But like I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm different, but like I only like games that engage me. Like engage like my brain in like some way. Like whether that's feels good because I pressed the sword that's right at the right time, like feels good, right? I don't like it when you just like win for free. Like I just feel like it's boring. I fall asleep when it's like that.
final combat encounter in the entire game, which is the exact same fight as before.
Wait, so you fight the same
except
fight again?
This time, you get to fight him for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So that means in this game that has been developed for over 8 years, there is 3 minutes and 30 seconds of combat. 20,000.
See, you see this picture in the corner? This would be me playing those puzzles. That would be exactly how I would look like. Just like that. It's actually perfect.
$10, by the way. Do you feel scammed yet? Well, we still have 1 more puzzle and 2 mini games to go, so save your judgment. This last puzzle is the only thing I would even consider a puzzle in the game, and all it is you're searching a room for clues to a 4-digit code. Yup, that's it. But it is a puzzle. You do have to try and figure out what the numbers are, so I'll give it to him. The game has a 1 real puzzle, and the best part about it is you can just skip it. If you don't want to do it, the game tells you can just input 7 ones and it'll let you through anyway. Who knows what the punishment is for that, but I'm sure it doesn't matter. I did actually do the puzzle though, because I wanted to experience all this game had to offer. Was it worth it? Honestly, at this point, yes it was, because at least I got to play some video game in my video game. Okay, moving on. We're almost done. On to the first mini game of only 2, so it better be worth it. It is a game in which you get a picture of either a sandwich or a soda, and then you have to give them the sandwich or soda in the order they ask for. So if they ask for a soda sandwich, you give them a soda, then you give them a sandwich. They ask for sandwich, you give them a sandwich, and then a sandwich. Does this sound fun? Does it sound interesting? Does it sound like it took 8 years to make? And that's half of all of the mini games in this video game is this. God. Just soak it in for a second. I want you to burn this into your mind, because when we move on to talk about the code and how bad it is, I want you to keep in mind what he's coding, like what he's doing this for. Think to yourself, could this be done in RPG Maker? So far, except the one.
Yeah. You could. Almost all of it. Hold on, wait. What's it gonna say you can't make?
And only combat encounter. There is nothing here that could the one and could this be done in RPG Maker? So far, except the one and only.
No, you could even do that in RPG Maker. I'm pretty sure you could. You could do that combat encounter like in RPG Maker. It would be hard, but you definitely could do it. You could definitely do all of this in RPG Maker.
Only combat encounter. There is
source. I used RPG Maker.
Nothing here that could not be done in RPG Maker with literally no coding at all. But maybe this last minigame.
Oh, with no coding at all. Okay. Yeah, okay.
It will change my mind. It'll truly blow.
No, this one you can make in RPG Maker, I'm pretty sure.
Everything else out of the water. Nope, it's just as bad as everything else. Come on, what did you expect? This is something that you make for your first game. It is one step beyond Hello World. It is a game in which you must dodge falling objects. Yes, I know.
You could make this in AI like right now. Actually, for sure. This one I know for sure you could.
You're technically supposed to be running forward, but programming wise, that's literally all it is. You're dodging falling objects while trying to hit the object you want. That's it.
It's just an illusion, basically.
There's nothing else to it. This is something you teach a middle schooler how to do for their very first coding class. That's all of the gameplay in the whole game.
That's true. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I actually taught a game development class to like a homeschooled kid, just for free, just cause, and he literally made more than this game.
And looking at all this, I just don't get it. Like, I'm genuinely confused.
In like the year that I taught him.
When Pirate Software told everyone that he worked on video games for 20 years, that he worked as a hacker, why did anyone believe him when this was what he was putting out? Why did it take this long for people to call him out for being a fraud when this is his magnum opus that took him 8 years? 8 years of perfecting your craft for something a middle schooler could make. This isn't the work of a professional. This isn't even the work of an amateur. It's pathetic. The worst part is, after scamming his own fans out of $20,000 and more, he has the balls to bait you into thinking there was another boss fight. You are seconds away from fighting an enemy literally called boss, and it fakes you out with a fake battle screen only to give a shitty Chrono Trigger-esque judgment segment where you hurt the boss by making good decisions. This is what I'm talking about, where I say it's baffling that it's taken this long for someone to call this guy out. He's been literally scamming and fucking with his own—
Bro, I would be so mad.
own fans for years. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It's time to talk about the
Sorry, like I could be commenting way more on this. I'm kind of stun locked, to be honest.
story. And that was clearly the focus of the game. Because the gameplay is only about, and I'm being very generous here, 10 minutes. So the rest of this entire game is walking around and talking to NPCs. So is the writing good? I mean, come on, that's not even a rhetorical at this point, because I know you're not asking it. Obviously it's bad. Of course it's bad. But compared to the gameplay, it's not that bad. I would describe it as general 13-year-old girl writing. Like maybe something you'd see on someone's
favorite
Tumblr fan fiction account, like about that level. There are a couple really cringy lines of dialogue that are funny. Like
Oh my god, I think you guys are right about Steven Universe. Chad, I think you guys are right. Uh-oh.
unironically says sad armadillo noises, but it doesn't really get any more interesting than that. The real problem with the story of this game is the same problem you see in any teenage writer.
I like the fight from Steven Universe with like Garnet versus the orange bitch. It's pretty cool. That part was cool.
That the game never gives you a reason to care about anything. Going back to that fake out boss fight, this is a boss fight where it's revealed that it's your mom, that you have mommy issues, and you defeat her by proving that you're not like her, where she accuses you of being evil, and then it checks your previous actions to see if they line up with her beliefs. And if you defied her and were a good person, you defeat her. It's clearly supposed to be a big emotional moment. The problem is, we have no reason to care about any of this because before this exchange, there's literally only one encounter with your mom that you weren't even there for. It's a flashback of your mom talking to your dad where she calls you lazy and the dad pathetic.
Yo, hold up, chat. Hold up. Is this like one of those like is this like a am I getting trauma dumped in a game? Is this like a trauma dump game? Like wait, so hold on, you got baited into hold on. Everyone got baited into buying a game where they just get trauma dumped? It has nothing to do with any real life people though. Are you sure? It seems like a little like psychological issue thing. Like I don't know, man. Like it just seems weird. Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing else. There is no other reason to believe the mom is even abusive, let alone so evil that we had to have a boss fight.
The thing is like I'm just being I'm just like even games that are like kind of a little bit more like personal, like something like Earthbound wasn't even like this. Like Earthbound was like really good, you know? Like he loved his mom and stuff. Like what's going on? What is going on? Like my brain is literally like exploded. Like I don't even know what to say anymore
about it. And that's not
first world trauma, the game. Yeah, it's like my mom, like your mom calls you lazy, and it's like the entire like that's the entire game. Like your mom calls you lazy, and like you're lazy. That means you're weak, and like oh no, like no, my mom called me lazy.
Even the worst part, where she chastises you for your decisions. They include decisions you didn't even make. She accuses you of killing this character when I didn't even have the option. If I knew I could kill that character, I probably would have. It would have been funny. So when she's like, oh, I bet you killed that guy, and you're like, no, I would never do that. Except I would totally do that. I just never got the option. It doesn't show good moral character to just not press A on every possible thing. And the worst example of the game failing to make you care about something is the whole point of the game. The reason why you're doing everything in the center of your character is that your dog dies. You're talking fucking dog, who's your best friend, dies, and you must go save him, sort of. Yeah, it really seems like he's dead forever, but that's what you're trying to do, is save him. The problem being, you literally only spend the first 5 minutes of the game with the dog. Why in the fuck should I care about this dog? I've spent no time with him. I know nothing about him. I know they're friends. That's it. That's like someone going up to you and being...
Bro, it really makes you appreciate the games where the whole point is like, yo, there's a bunch of fucking demons and we're about to purify the fuck out of these enemies. Right? Like, yo, me and my homies, we're paladins, we're paladin squad. We're gonna go in there and we're just gonna fuck shit up. That's it. Makes you appreciate it, right? Yeah. Like the freaking Doom guy. He's just like, you know, you just drop me in there, like, fuck him, right?
Like, hey, my neighbor's brother's daughter's dog died. Isn't that sad? And you'd be like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's sad. That sucks. But I don't care. It doesn't make me want to play this whole game and fight for whatever. You have to get me to care about this. Show me how the dog helped him deal with his abusive mother. You have to show me that. This is literally first grade writing, by the way, by a 40-year-old man. Yes, this game.
Wait, so is he hold on, is he solo developing this game? He's solo developing this game? Is that the story? Yeah? Okay. He made all the art and all that stuff. Yeah.
Game that looks like it was made by a teenage girl and is written like it was made by a teenage girl was made by a 37-year-old man. I mean, there really isn't anything else to talk about the story. Nothing happens. The real problem is the game doesn't have real characters.
Wait, not solo? He used AI? Wait, what? Isn't he against AI? Am I wrong? I don't know if I'm getting his position wrong on that. I would have thought, I thought he was against AI. I thought I heard that somewhere. I might be wrong. I don't know.
They're all just caricatures. The only character that has more than a handful of lines is the main...
That's a lie? Yes, that sounds like it, yeah.
...main character, and the only thing
That's what I was asking, like, for verification.
...know about him is that he cares...
So just, you guys are just speculating, basically, yeah.
...cares about his dog, and he has an abusive mother. Maybe he's a bit sarcastic sometimes. I don't even know what he likes, what he dislikes. What does he have fun doing? How does he feel about things? Is he right-wing? Is he left-wing? How would he feel about the Federal Reserve? I don't know. I don't know anything about...
Is he a big fan of the government? I need to know.
About him. And I actually read every piece of mandatory dialogue. It's not like I was just skipping through things. The game is just so busy trying to make funny lines that are profoundly cringe that it never tries to say anything about anything.
Dude, everyone's just trying to make freaking Earthbound. That's what it feels like.
Actually, it does try and make one statement. It does have a line about how in the corporate world, you never go up, you only go sideways. No, Thor, that's just you, and it's because you're bad. No one was ever going to promote you out of QA when you can't fucking
Wait, hold on. Okay. Wait, he was only in QA? There's no way. But didn't he say he was on the anti-hacking team? He was on the hacking team. Okay, he was. He was on the red team. Okay. Please look at the LinkedIn. Too many people are making false claims. I'm going to go look. I just want to make sure I'm getting it right, basically. I just want to make sure I'm clearing up any sort of misconception. Because I don't want to lie about him, right?
You can't write in your...
No, it's social engineering is 80% of hacking. No, I mean... They do think... It's not like he just talked to people. He probably did some stuff, but we'll see.
Clearly an idiot. And what doesn't help the story is how much you know he's holding back. And for no reason. Another very common novice writer mistake is focusing...
No, I mean, we're making a bunch of assumptions, guys. Like, let's not do that.
Too much on the reveal and not enough on the buildup. After your dog dies, you're feeling constant guilt where it's like, oh, it's your fault, you killed the dog, and it doesn't make any sense Because how the dog dies is you're just asleep and you wake up and the dog is dead. It has nothing to do with you. A monster killed it while you were asleep. It couldn't possibly be your fault. So clearly there is some kind of reveal later in the game where the dog died for a real reason and the monster's not real or something like that. Because as it is now, it doesn't make any sense. I have no reason to be like, I killed this dog. I didn't do anything and neither did the kid. And there's no reason for him to feel this way. It just doesn't make sense. So the story's bad, the gameplay's bad. What else is there? What could possibly make this game worth playing? Well, one of the big selling points is the multiple routes that all of your...
You agree that code doesn't matter if the game runs as fun? Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it does matter. Yeah.
Decisions matter. I've already told you I only played one route, the good route, and if you've listened to a single word I've said so far, you know exactly why. But let me tell...
All right, I need to log in with a Google account. I don't want a LinkedIn account. I see what people are saying now. Sorry guys, I'm like looking at it. So like this part, like these two parts here don't really mean anything, but then like this one makes sense though. Like I don't know, like I don't want to assume like what someone was doing at their job, right? Like I don't know, right? Like I don't know. He could have been doing a lot, right? I mean, it's hard to say. Job history embellishment, that's like normal though. Job history embellishment is normal. That's why women get paid less, mommy. Go fix your freaking thing. Go tell everyone that you're like a, I don't know, like a freaking master engineer. Go do that. Go change it. Go fix it. Is it wrong though? No, I mean, like, it's normal. This is normal shit.
Tell you now, the decision making is just as bad as the rest of the game. You literally have an evil voice.
I'm not saying that you have to lie. I'm not saying that you lie about it. It's like, but you try to like, you try to say like basically the best things that you did. That's what I meant.
Telling you which is the bad option and which is the good option. It is literally as overt as listen to this.
No, like so, like say he worked on that team and he did some of that stuff, then like he technically did, right? I mean, I don't understand. This is lying. It's normal to put the best stuff on there. Well, you need to like write it better, right? Like you need like for instance, like if you're like in charge of stuff, like you should tell them that like you led projects, obviously. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
like you need to like you know, no, you don't need to lie. Like what I'm saying is like if you're saying that like for instance, like if your job is like, you know, like your job is like you're like you're doing like, you know, development, like web development or whatever, right? And like your title is like web developer, and it's like you put in there like, oh yeah, I was in the lead of this project and I did like this and this and this and this. Like it's normal to put the best things right at the top. He always said he was in QA and red team security. Yeah, like I don't...
Characters' problems and be nice or kill them. And just in
No, what I'm saying, Talahawk, is like even if it was embellished, I don't think that's bad.
Case, it's slightly more subtle than hitting
like
you in the
whatever,
back of the head with a sledgehammer. You have the evil voice in your head telling...
I think you can make an argument that this game isn't good. I think that's an argument that you could make.
Telling you what the evil option is. No.
He called himself a dev? I mean, he's a dev because he made this game. Him saying that he's a dev... Oh, you mean a dev at Blizzard? I consider QA as part of the dev team, yes. So, like, I think he would be a dev, yeah. I don't get it. Like, I don't... He made 2 games plus a Minecraft survival MMO. Yeah, like, I don't... QA is not a dev? I disagree. QA, like good QA has a say in like what it, they have a pretty good say in like what happens. Like they should have a pulse on like the community and like the live service, if it's a live service game. That's my experience. They should have like a understanding of like what the community values, what the community wants. And if something is like overpowered, like you're gonna release something that's really, you know, you're about to release like a patch that's gonna ruin the game. QA should be able to be like, hey, like I think like this is a problem, like you should fix this. Like here's like some ways, you know, this is what you should do. and then it's up to the developers to like the other developers, like, you know, designers and engineers, to like actually fix that, right? Like they have a lot of the times QA comes up with like suggestions, and it's not saying they have to follow it, but they're usually the ones that could, they should also have the power to say like, listen, this thing is buggy as fuck, it's not coming out. QA can play a significant part in development. For example, every game that you can jump, the button is X. Why did you make it triangle? Yeah, exactly, that too. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. It's funny how most of the design team at Blizzard shitted on their QA and thought they were all retarded too. Yeah, because there's elitism everywhere. Obviously. Damn, all this time I was sad about never being hired as dev, but it turns out that my few months of QA qualified me looking for a girl. I disagree. That's like saying beta testers are a game. No, they're not, because they don't work for the company. Beta testers are just giving feedback, like small feedback. They have nothing to do with like the like testing the build, hammering, like test. They test like a lot of things, like levels. Like you're testing levels, you're testing like numbers. They do all sorts of stuff. What about outsourced QA then, Leaflit? Well, what about outsourced game design? I'll die on this hill. QA is not dev. Okay, well, I mean, that's up to you if you think that. I mean, like, what do you want me to say about that? I mean, what do you want me to say? I'm telling you that they good QA has a hand in the development. They have an opinion. They have an opinion. A lot of times they can stop builds. Like, I don't understand. They contribute to the production of the game, do they not? They contribute to the final product of the game. Like, as in like the actual development part of the game. Like, I'm not saying like they're like business people who are working on the game after. They don't really have anything to do with the actual development part of the game. QA is involved intimately in the development of a game. You don't throw a bunch of QA in at the end. That's not how it works. If you think that like QA is oh, the game is over, like throw it to QA people. No, they've been working on it since the beginning. Since the first thing like happened, they had somebody test it. Like, this just sounds like elitism to me, honestly. This just sounds like devs basically sucking themselves. This sounds like designers and engineers sucking themselves off to be like, yeah, I'm more important than like these other people. It's just retarded. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like,
No, the choices obviously don't matter, because being forced to play this game again...
Big disagree with it, Leaf? Okay, what do you disagree with? Okay, how about this? Here we go. Okay, you know, fine. Okay, you know what? I'll do this. If you guys want to do this, I'll do it. Okay, define game developer. What do you mean when you say a person is a game developer? Define that. People responsible for the code, graphics, etc. So what is it about the code, the graphics? So like, is this like an arbitrary definition? Like what about? So what is it about the codes and graphics that makes them a developer? That for being responsible for the codes and graphics, what makes them a developer in that case? So like, why is a coder a developer? Why is a person that makes graphics? Why is a graphic artist? Why are they a developer? Because they make said thing as opposed to QA. So so basically, they don't count as a developer if they're not creating what? If they're not creating an asset? So if they're not creating an asset. Okay. So your definition is devs are people that create assets for a video game. Writing is not an asset. Yes, it is. Oh yeah. Writing is an asset. Is a janitor a dev? Are localizers devs? That one's tougher. I don't... Hold on, wait. Let me focus on this. God, I'm ADDing already. So they're the people... Okay, so is it that they're in the position to create an asset and make the decision on said assets? Because couldn't you say that QA people upon checking the code and giving... And like... So they're hired by the company, right? Specifically to ensure that that like something in the code that they... Not just code, but like any asset, they're there to ensure the quality of said asset. But because they're not creating the asset, that's why you don't think that QA is coders, right? I mean, sorry, is a developer. I'm trying to steal man your argument. Blizzard janitors are devs because they touch and clean up breast milk. Bro. So I got that right. Okay. Feedback is important but not integral. Yeah, but QA doesn't only do feedback. So I'm trying to think. So is there like a distinction? So sorry. I actually don't I don't spend a lot of time thinking about this. So like I'm trying to go through my thoughts on it. Um it's not something I think about like all the other stuff where like I immediately know where I'm going on it. Okay, so see, feedback is important but not integral. Potato Monkey, thank you for the follow. Feedback is important but not integral like the devs are. So like the same thing would be said of like business. Would I consider business to be devs? No, I wouldn't consider business to be devs, but they are integral to the game. According to the definition that Sheep Boy has. I'm working with Sheep Boy's own definition because I don't want to straw man his point. Or their point, I don't know. Could be actually boy, Sheep Boy. Sheep Boy. Yeah, boy. Okay. You ask Grok again? Hold on, I gotta stop reading chat. I gotta think. I got too much ADD for this. So it's like sound design counts, engineering counts, design counts, QA would touch the game throughout the process, but they don't necessarily create assets for it. They would only do so suggestively, as in like, I think this would be better. So does that count as a part of creation? If you are paid specifically if you're paid specifically to give feedback and suggestions, does that count? Because obviously a beta tester is not a dev, right? That you wouldn't count them as a dev. So the difference between them and the beta tester is that they get paid and taken more seriously, and they have power. They have the power to stop. They have more authority. They have authority over good QA. Good QA has the authority over the build to decide whether or not it's releasable. In an ideal sense, of course, they could be overridden by like multiple people. Leaf Sprint's gonna blow up. No, this is how I think about everything. I think everything through like this. It's just normally I do this in bed, like while I'm going to sleep, right? Your hands are shaking. You have really bad autism, dude. Don't worry. I don't know if I'm autistic. I'm not gonna just claim I'm autistic, but like I think I have sort of similar stuff. You know what? Under your definition, I think that's agreeable. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. I think if your definition is not necessarily if your definition is specifically that they've created an asset for the game, then I think under your definition, I think you're right. Actually, ask them if game directors. Game directors are. Oh, that's a good point. Well, no game directors have more authority in terms of like QA touches the product like throughout the development, but game directors are actually telling people how to do things. So in a sense, they have more of an artistic direction than QA. Game directors have way more artistic direction than QA does. No, the game director would be a dev then because they would have a hand in the creation of the assets. Yeah. So like the person who basically says, okay, this is the direction that the game is gonna go in, and we're definitely like not gonna do that asset, and we're definitely gonna do this asset. The director has a say in the creative process of the game, right? Well, is the creative process, is that it? But then QA does have a hand in the creative process, don't they? But only in the terms of feedback. They have no. You know what? You're right. QA doesn't have authority on the creative process. You know, I was wrong. Sheepo, you were right. There it is. I was wrong.
Is a form of cruel and unusual punishment, but that's the whole game. That's it. And why do you think there is so little? Probably because there's only
Silverburst says QA doesn't touch coding. No. If you use that argument that QA doesn't touch coding, therefore they're not a dev, that's just wrong. Because then now the sound creator's not the dev, the artist's not the dev, the game designer's not the dev. Like all of these people are not devs. The only devs are the engineers at that point. engineers, technical designers, technical artists are the only devs at that point. So like that's actually like a bad definition of it. I think Sheepboy's definition is good. Yeah. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair definition. This is what I mean. Like, see, I think through things and I'm like, okay, well, what do I mean by that? And you think about it, and then you go through like all the steps, right? Of like, well, does that disqualify this? What's the reason I believe that this thing is this? And then like according to that definition that Sheepboy brought up, well, that makes sense then, right? If they don't have a hand in the specific creative process of the game, then it wouldn't count, right? I think it probably has to do with authority. It has to do with authority and the ability to. So like, QA's authority is to block something because it's broken. That doesn't necessarily mean they're blocking it for creative reasons. Does that make sense? Delegation versus recommendation. Exactly. What Domesday said. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I was wrong.
One completed chapter.
It's that easy. It's that easy. You think through it. You're like, huh? You think about it for more than 5 seconds. You're like, I've never thought about it that deep. By the way, I've never thought about it like that. That's like the deepest I ever thought about. Like, I don't really go around thinking like, does a QA count as a dev? It's not really like something that is like on my mind usually. So it's like this is the first time I ever sat down and like went through the thought process of like why that would be or wouldn't be. And yeah, it's like I was just wrong. Like, fair enough.
Yes, that's it. You have one chapter about, who knows, maybe half of chapter 2, maybe it's 75%. I have no idea how much more there could be. And then the very opening of chapter 3. That's all that's completed in 8 years. He's completed one.
I'm not saying that they're not important. That's a different thing. So like if you were QA and I'm like, I'm not saying you're not important. You're very important. QA is very important for like the development of the game. They're very, very important support structure for the development of the game.
One chapter of an unplayably bad game. So yeah, maybe there's more character development in the rest of the game. And maybe they'll make me really care about that dead dog. But I have the strangest feeling that none of that's ever going to happen, that the game is never going to be finished. Because at this rate, it's going to take him the rest of his life. He will die.
Did you guys see like how badly I got freaking ADD during that? Because I kept seeing like while I was thinking, I kept seeing the chat scroll and I kept glancing over at it to like read it, and it completely threw me off. And then like I had to regain my balance because like I was like deep in thought about like, okay, like, well, this component of like game development, like, does that count? And I was like going through all of those processes in my head, and then I would see someone say like, but what about janitors? And I'd be like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about janitors? Why are you talking about janitors? And like it would throw that thought into my head and just spin everything out of control. And I would have to like re-grab the reins of my brain and be like, okay, like let's think about what Sheepboy was talking about. Okay, let's think about that. Don't read the chat. Just think about that. And I had to do that multiple times
before this game is completed. So is the game worth playing? No. Is it bad? Obviously.
It's not a higher. I don't know if you're talking to me about hierarchy of titles. It's about the ability to make a decision, the ability to make this. That's actually that's it. That's what it is. The ability to make a decision in the process of making a game, in the process of the creation of the game. Right, so like business wouldn't have that. So like marketing wouldn't fulfill that because they're making a decision as to the marketing of the game post the game being out. It has nothing to do with the actual game itself. The creative aspect of the game, I suppose.
This is something a teenage girl makes for a school project in RPG Maker, not something made by a nearly 40-year-old man on a 3-person team. Now it's finally time to talk about the code. Now that you have the full context, you can...
I don't know shit about code, so this is gonna be kind of hard for me.
Understand not only why is this bad, but why it was completely unnecessary, because the entire game could be made with no coding at all in RPG.
You also have to look out for scope creep when you are your own boss. What you think maybe a simple implementation might take 6 months to get right, that's actually yeah, and this is why like you have to consider like what the minimum viable product is for like a game. You can't just like if you just keep adding shit to the game, and this is where the director comes in play actually, It's actually the producer. The producer and the director come in play here, where they're supposed to be like, hey, stop fucking spazzing out and like focus on like this is literally me, by the way. Like they're the ones that are like, hey, Leaflit, what Sheep Boy was talking about. Remember, that's the important part. Stop it. Stop looking at that. Stop talking about janitors. Focus. Look at me. Okay, now go make the game. It's like that basically. That's what producers and directors do.
RPG Maker. 99% of the game is just walking around and talking.
It's like the sorry, I'm pausing again. So the problem is if you're the kind of person that's not good at that, not good at like the channeling the focus into like, you know, what's important, then you have something like this happen, basically. Like this game, basically.
People. RPG Maker games with no RPG element that are just walking and talking have been made since the beginning of fucking time. This game would actually be better if it was made in RPG Maker because he fucked up something as simple as just showing text on the screen. How the game works is you left click to enter dialogue. Then if you're going to progress the text, which you're going to have to do if you can read at a first grade level, you must then right click. Then if you want to move read at a first grade level, you must then right click. Then if you want to move on to the next text box, you can't right click, you have to left click again. So just reading is this song and dance of left click, right click, left click, left click, right click, left click. Do you see how that might get annoying really fucking?
Methlane says the issue with Pirate Software Code is that he seems to not understand what a while loop and a for loop are for, and just makes excuses about it for an ARG, which doesn't make logical sense. It just seems wrong, and it's not the good choice ever. Like, thanks for the insight, Methlane. I don't know what you said. Thank you for the insight, Methlane. I have no idea what you said.
Fast, or if you were as bored as I was, it's the only fun part of the game. Anyway,
I'm a game designer, not an engineer. They're like different. Sometimes the engineer can be a game designer at the same time. I'm not. I'm like mostly creative and conceptual designer. So like I come up with solutions to problems in the game, like problems with the actual gameplay. That's like me. I'm like the gameplay person.
There you go. That's it. This is the code I wanted to talk about. No, it's not the 1000 element switch statement. Yes, that's real. No, it's not the array of flags with 560 elements all listed out in a row. Yes, that exists also. It's just...
So your QA? No. So like, if you don't know, like game design is basically like, yeah, we're going to have a character and this is what they're going to do. This is going to be their abilities, and this is why it's coherent. This is why it's coherent and intuitive. And this is the purpose for the abilities. This is what the character's purpose is. And these abilities fit into that purpose in a cohesive way. That's kind of what that's one part of it. The other part of it is like there's a problem. Like a good example would be like, okay, so what's a good one I could use? Like, I don't know, axe damage is too strong. So like the feedback is that axe damage is too strong in the game. Find out why it's too strong and how to fix it. That would be like a game design decision, basically. Right, which does involve like a little bit of math sometimes and creative stuff. Other creative stuff, and there's also like creative design, which is like another aspect of it, and that's like kind of more lore. Like more like this is going to be the lore for the game. This is how the lore fits into the gameplay, and this is the next character we're going to do, and this is their lore, and this is how it all fits into the game. Like they're friends with like that character, so like take that into account when you make the development thing. When you make the character, my brain, dude. When you make the character, put that into account.
This. Now, if you've never coded before, you might not understand why this is so bad, that this was so shocking that it made me create this video. Let me start by explaining what a switch is. The switch is a form of
Switch is. Hold on, wait. I think I know this. Wait, is this? Hold on. I don't know if like I'm just retarded or something, but like a switch is just like a thing that's like 0 or 1, right? And then when you switch something from 0 to 1, then it activates. It's like an if then basically. No, am I wrong? No, a switch is not a console made by Nintendo. Is it not quite? Okay, well we'll keep. I told you I'm not a programmer.
Because literally all it does is go to a section of code. That's it. In this.
Oh, they're talking about. Okay. Sorry. That's okay. You know what? Whatever.
We take the argument global.storyline array 333. God, that is insane to say, by the way. And based on what that value is, we go to that case. So if the value is 1, we go to case 1. If the value is 2, we go to value is 1. That value is, we go to that case. So if the value is 1, we go. Go to case 1. If the value is 2.
Why is there 333?
We go to case 2. And this doesn't have to be in order. You could have case 333 and then case 12 right after that. You can do whatever you want. It's just whatever the value is, we go to the case.
Okay, so all that matters is the number is just the identifier basically, and it doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't have to be in order. Okay, got it.
That has that value. Now, the much simpler version of this is an if statement. All an if statement is if.
Yeah, it's like if this switch. If this like number is this or whatever, then do this. Otherwise, do this.
Whatever is in those parentheses
I get that
is
part.
true, then
that's RPG Maker shit. I get that. Okay.
Do what's in that block. Now that you understand those two things, you are now a better programmer than our hacker genius here. Because what?
What? Wait, what?
Then we do what's
no.
What of this is an if statement. All an if statement is if whatever is in those parentheses is true, then
so like the whatever is like it could be like an on and off thing, like a 0 or 1, and then like it could be anything really, like it could point to like a thing and like try to get a value, and then like it would be like if, like for instance, like if HP is greater than 50, then do this. Otherwise, do this, which is the else, right? Else, do this. Yeah.
We do what's in that block. Now that you understand those two things, you are now a better programmer than our hacker genius here.
Wait, what? How?
Because what you see here is complete absurdity. He does not know the purpose of an if statement or a switch or how to use them. I'm going to give you 1 second to see what is wrong with the switch.
Oh. Wait, hold on, chat, hold on. Is this like he could have just used if then? Because who did we go to lunch with? Like if you pick Fern, then do this, else do this. So like the only reason you would do a switch is if you need more than 2. Oh, okay. I understand.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, that's basic RPG Maker shit. I get that. Yeah.
Why is it not an if? Why is there code that even says do nothing? Want to know how you do nothing in code? You just don't write it. So if we do...
Yeah, that part, I didn't really know. Isn't, as far as I know, this like double backslash just means ignore this. Am I wrong? Again, I'm not a programmer. I'm just, I'm inferring it basically. Inferring it from things I've seen before. It means nothing. Yeah, it just means ignore this, right? Yeah. Ignore what is after this, basically, for this line. So for like line 99, ignore after the double backslashes, right? Okay.
delete case 2, again, there's nothing there. There's nothing to do. If we just got rid of it, it'd be exactly the same. We are now left with a switch that has a singular case. So what that means is we check what is the value of our global whatever the fuck. If it is 1, we go to case 1.
Yep.
And there is nothing else to check because there are no other cases. Do you see the problem now? We could literally just write this as an if statement. And what's the peak absurdity is that's literally what he did directly above this. So he did it right, then immediately did it wrong right after. And even then, it's still not correct. I'll give you one more programming concept. There's something called a bool. That is what the if statement is checking for. It's checking for a Boolean. A Boolean is either true or false.
Okay.
However, that can also be represented as a number, where 0 is false and everything else is true. So in this if statement, he's asking, is global array whatever the fuck equal to 1? Do you see the problem there? He literally has a comment confirming that what is in that array is a Boolean. So there is no reason to be checking for anything. All you do is put global.storyline array 367 and then end it there. And it works exactly the same. And then he could just do the exact same thing right below that. Global.storyline array 333 and then end it there. No switch statement, no nothing, just an if. And I'm not even going to talk about
I actually don't know that one. I don't know this one.
How both of those blocks of code are literally doing the exact same thing. Both of them are only calling instance destroyed. So you could literally do an or there, and then you can combine all of it into one line. And this is...
I see. So the problem... Okay, hold on, chat. The problem isn't... Okay, just so I'm not misunderstanding. The problem isn't that he's bad at coding. The reason people are mad is because he's bad at coding simultaneously while saying that he was really fucking good at it. Correct? Yep. Okay. Now I know Naruhodo.
The point. This is why it makes me mad, because he wants his code to be big. That's the point. I've seen a bunch of code reviews on his code. 2 very great videos about this, but I had to
basically like what he's saying is that he's wasting a fuck ton of time. He's inefficient, basically, is what he's saying.
Make this video because they don't point out what's important is he's doing this intentionally. He's clearly doing this to make himself look smarter because his dumb fans who don't know how to code look at that and think, whoa, look at all that code.
This is like when you're you guys remember like this is like when you're like 8 years old or something and you go to the computer and you open up an app in like MS-DOS just to like look cool, right? And then you always like throw in a little like dir in there just to like get like the whole fucking like, you know, so it scans like all the shit, you know, it like lists all the files, and then you're like, yeah, like and then you run it off of the prompt.
He must be a genius. He thinks more code equals better code because he's an idiot and his fans are stupid too. Look at here. I'll just give you one more example. Look at this.
Wait, hold on. Chat. Here's my question. Here's my question, chat. So if he's like a game developer streamer, right? This is what I don't understand. So if he's a game developer streamer, right? And you would think that he would have game developers watching, correct? So why did nobody have a problem with this until now? Wait, he banned them? Wait, what? No. If you disagree with him, ban you? Damn, I should have banned I should have banned Sheep Boy.
List of things where he's literally doing the exact same thing every time. All of this could be done with a single for loop. Yes, just one loop. Literally, all for loop is we do one thing over and over again until we hit the number of repetitions we want. And we can increment by any amount we want. In this case, we would definitely increment by 1. And the cool thing is, we get...
By the way, this kind of shit is why games lag. This is the shit that causes like shit to be fucked up and laggy and buggy. Because what happens is like if you do it, if you have like inefficient stuff like this, and then like something breaks, it becomes impossible to fucking find it. Like the
Access to that
source of it.
incrementer, so we don't have to write the number every single time. But do you see the problem with that is he would have less code and then it would look less cool.
Dollar for the sheep, brother. Thanks for the bits, Teal. Also, thank you, Methylene, for the bits earlier. Thank you. I only use go-to statements, says Methylene.
Wants these giant...
My mom probably knows more about this stuff. Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm not
blocks of code. He's an idiot. He's dumb. He thinks big blocks of code means he's doing a lot of work. What a fucking dipshit. Can you imagine him just typing out over and over and over again, line after line after line of the exact same thing, being like, man, I guess there's no better way of doing this. Maybe he's that stupid. Honestly, he probably is. But at least part of it has to be him trying to look cool with these giant chunks of text. That's why he doesn't use loops. That's why he used a switch statement when he could use an if. That's why he's...
This is like people that use big words. You ever meet those people? Like, they only speak in big words. And, like, they only write in big words. It's kind of like that.
Checking if true equals true. Yes, that's literally what this means. What he's typing here is true equals...
Except, actually, this is kind of worse, because this actually has a negative effect on the game. Whereas big words... I guess big words also has a negative effect if it's too much. But you can say that big words might have a component that makes things more unique or more like some artistic like reason behind it. Spaced equation. Thank you so much for the gift sub to Sheepboy. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's true. That's why he refuses to write true or false instead of 0 or 1, because numbers look cooler than true or false. That's why he refuses to use functions and will literally just repeat the exact same steps over and over again. It's because he wants to look cool. He's a child. Everything in this video so far can be explained by the fact that he is a man-child. He is a 37-year-old teenage girl. He codes like a teenager, he writes like a teenager, and he makes big, exaggerated lies just like a teenager. And just like a teenager, he will never admit when he's wrong. And that's why this entire controversy happened. It has nothing to do with Stop Killing Games. It has nothing to do with him letting his friends die in World of Warcraft. It's that he's a child who refuses to grow up. And if you give a child millions of dollars and a ton of attention, they will...
He got millions of dollars for this? No. No way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. No, it did not. It did not. 20,000.
Fuck up eventually. And he'll never learn. You just know he'll never learn. You don't get to 37 acting like a child and even have the capability of learning. And I want to make it very clear. There is nothing wrong with writing bad code. There's nothing wrong with making a bad game. There's nothing wrong with writing embarrassing dialogue. The problem with...
Is there a reason he... Oh, shit, my bad. Sorry. I didn't mean to put you back on there. Sheepboy, my bad.
Bad game.
Is there a reason he's saying this while playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
Wrong. Have the capability of learning. And I want to make it very clear. There is nothing wrong with writing bad code. There's nothing wrong with making a bad game. There's nothing wrong with writing embarrassing dialogue. The problem with pirate software...
Dude, you don't even want to read, like, my old shit. Dude, it was so cringe. Like, I saw my old writing, like, the other day. Fuck, it's so bad. It was... Man, it was so cringe, bro. It was so cringe.
Why he is being mocked endlessly is he acts like an expert when he's worse than a...
It's, like, so bad that, like, I don't even want to look at it. Like, it's
novice.
So bad.
And the only reason he's this bad after working on a game for...
No, it's like, it is just, like, kind of, like, edgy and, like, anime. You know, like, super fucking anime. Again, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was like, God, this is embarrassing. It was shit like this. It was like, and then It was like the wind blow. The wind was. I'm just paraphrasing. Like obviously this wasn't the actual thing. This wasn't actually what I wrote. Thank you again, thank you. But it was like along the same lines, right? So it's gonna be a little bit kind of fucked up because I'm just recalling it in my mind. But it was something like the wind was blowing, and she jumped from the top of a building, and she landed on the floor with a soft step, and then she drew her sword, reaching up to her ear, where she said, the target is up here. I see them. It's like, okay. And then that's when the operator said, it was go around the right side, and then you'll find the weak spot. It was like shit like that. It was like so bad. Like,
8 years
so
is
bad.
because he already thinks he's perfect. When you think you're perfect, you have no reason to
That was like literally Chuny. Like,
learn anymore. You should not be afraid of failing, of making shitty things. What you should be afraid of is not learning from it. But that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Lord Frogmire. It is only thanks to my stream chat that I made this video in the first place. Maybe next stream we can go over all of his code. I'm sure people would love to see me tortured. Anyway,
dude,
bye.
dude, this shit is so farmable. You see how many people are farming this shit? And guys, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I had no intention of farming this shit. Like actually, so all the people that think like, oh, Leaflit's farming this shit, I had no intention of doing it. I just happened to become a farmer. It happened to me. I didn't plan on farming it, but it's just how it happened. Because people got so mad at me